Thanh Mai mến chào quý vị đến với chương trình Việt ngữ của hệ thống truyền thông Asian Media Network. Thưa với quý vị, chúng tôi xin mời quý vị cùng với chúng tôi chào đón chị Cathy Nguyễn, là giám đốc điều hành của công ty chuyên về di trú My Truly Wonder tọa lạc tại Austin, Texas. Dạ vâng. Thưa chị, trong những cái episode vừa qua, chúng ta đã đưa đến những thông tin rất là hữu ích về chương trình lao động nhập cảnh thẻ xanh EB3, và đã có rất là nhiều quý khán thính giả khắp nơi, không những ở hải ngoại mà ngay cả trong nước Việt Nam đã có rất là nhiều những cái câu hỏi. Welcome back, Attorney Gabriel Grisbaum from the Grisbaum Law Firm in Austin, Texas, to answer the question for our viewer. Thì Thanh Mai xin mời chị Cathy ngày hôm nay sẽ đặt những cái câu hỏi đó cùng với luật sư Gabriel, bởi vì chỉ có nghe được từ chính luật sư là người chuyên về cái lĩnh vực di trú này thì quý vị mới biết đây là cái thông tin xác thực, chứ không phải là nghe từ người này, nghe từ người kia.
We have one concern this time for our LC application. We have a large amount of LC application right now, and they expect that they have certified on November or December. So I would like for you to update the time for them that
for our ongoing projects.
Actually,
right. So for our ongoing projects with construction laborers and dishwashers, we are currently expecting those certifications back in March. We will have the last of those 9089s filed very soon. But we've begun that process, and the certification will probably be March next year, 2024.
Before you answer further, I would like you, Gabriel, could you explain what is the LCA and how long the process normally take and why is now it delayed?
So the labor certification has two steps primarily. There's first a prevailing wage determination, which is an inquiry with the Department of Labor as to what the wage that is required for the position. That usually takes about 5 months, or 5 months at the longest. But recently, those timelines are running 7-8 months. So that's a source of delay. The second source of delay is coming from the 9089, the second step, which is the labor certification itself, the permanent labor application. And the permanent labor applications traditionally have taken somewhere in the 4 to 5 month range, and now they are taking at least 6, and we are actually seeing some that are taking longer. But so that's those, a few months here, a few months there. That's how we get behind. It's the government, they operate on their own timeline, and they don't have to live up to what they've promised before.
Is that because of so many applications?
Yes, I do think there has been the data has not come out for 2022 yet, or 2020, the fiscal year 2022, which started October 2022. So that data has not come out yet. But the key is we believe that the fact that the visa bulletin has fallen so far behind and the visa wait times are getting longer and longer, that's an indication that there's been a lot more applicants this year.
Thank you.
yes. So our clients out there, we don't have that on December or November that we plan. Gabriel just said that in March. So that's the part now. And is there the premium process for LCA? Can we use that, or how's that go for this year?
So there's no premium processing available for the LCA process. Remember the two steps. There is premium processing available at the third stage, the I-140, which is the immigrant petition by the foreign national. So there is premium processing available. However, as I mentioned earlier, we are seeing longer and longer wait times to get a visa. And those wait times are taking longer than it's taking to get a decision on those cases. And right now, it's not my recommendation to use premium processing both because it's costly and because it likely does not speed up your application process.
Thank you.
Overall.
Okay.
And people call and asking that, is there a successful case for EB3? Have anyone applied for EB3, came to the US? Yes. And I heard that question all the time because they asking, is actually work? So you have been doing this for many years with Kathy. Can you share the successful case and as an example?
Yes, I'd be happy to show a case that where it was just a small school applied for a math teacher, which recently got a green card. So I'd be happy to show that. These processes are taking quite a long time. So this case launched in 2020, but it did eventually. She did get a green card, and she was in the United States on an F visa and was able to change status and so. She had a pretty smooth process overall, but I'd be happy to show you. So I'm going to share screen. Okay, so what we're looking at here is Form ETA 9141 from the Department of Labor, and this is commonly known as a prevailing wage determination. What this does is DOL tells you what you have to pay for the position, the salary that is required. So on this one, you'll see that some of the information is blacked out. That is personal information or information about companies that I'm legally required to redact. So that information is blacked out for that reason. But you can see from here that the determination was initially issued in January 2021, which is quite a long time ago. But it was that was the date that this came back. So that was the end of the first 7-month period of this application, was in January 2021. So if we look here, what you'll see is that this is for a math teacher. This teacher didn't have a lot of, there were a few requirements of a few months of experience were required, but nothing else. So a very simple position. And the position was subject to an RFE, which is an RFI, which is a request for information, which does delay the case. So that is one reason that this case did take longer. But what we see here is a this is from the Department of Labor. This is the first step. So for the cases for the projects that are ongoing now, the construction laborers and the dishwashers, those people we already have their 9141 in hand. We already have their prevailing wage determination done. So I didn't show that one, but we do have it. This one is a template from them. I also will. I'd like to show. This is all part of the ETA 9141. This shows the salary, the expected, the job category. This is the 3 months of experience requirement for this particular position. And then I wanted to show you what the stage we're on now for the ongoing projects, which is the application for permanent employment certification, the ETA 9089. Now, this is the most important form. This form determines your priority date. So when filed, this determines your priority date, which determines your position in line for a visa. So it's very important to get these filed and to get your position in line. And what we see here is that this is an elementary school teacher that you can see. This is represented by my firm. You can see the prevailing wage. You can see all of the other steps to this process, which includes the advertising information, the recruitment process, and also other information about job requirements. The ETA 9089 does require information about the applicant, detailed information about the applicant. So you can see this person, I only left in here that they were from Vietnam and on F1 and also quite young. Otherwise, you can see that this is a person who was on F1 in the United States and was able to get a pretty low skill position and stay in the United States, adjust status. We'll come down here and we'll see this is her I-140 approval notice, and that was in 2022. And then here's our green card. So those are the steps of this process, and this is a recent approval.
Thank you, Gabriel, for sharing with us the successful case for this particular client who is the teacher. So how long does this take, the total time for this applicant to become, to be able to work in the U.S.? And is she already working in the U.S. right now?
So she is working in the U.S., and she has been working in the U.S. since late 2022. I want to say winter 2022. And she was able to do that on her 485 pending status with a, so she had the work authorization from 485 pending. But she was able to adjust from F, which is a very preferred status. That is a very different process than adjusting from B, which has a very limited duration and is likely to time out. F often has no duration limit and is possible that way. So she is living in the United States. It took her approximately 36 or 38 months to get from start to finish. And the reason about 6 or 8 of those months were related to a random process called an RFI, which is an audit of the company, which does happen. And auditing the company takes a lot of time because they send people to the company to investigate and do a bunch of stuff. The company, of course, passed, but it did take a lot longer. But I did want to show a case that took a little bit longer because, there are some risks that these cases do take a little bit longer.
So normally, if without audit, how long you think it takes?
Well, this one took exceptionally long. It was filed in 2020, which was one of the worst times to file these. And it got the audit, which is sort of a random chance thing that adds months and months. So this one took exceptionally long. I would say this is the longest taking one I've ever had. Mm-hmm. So one of the reasons that I wanted to show it is just so that people want to see it only took 2 years one.
Thank you. Please give us some update status on EB-5 program, which is the investment program.
Right. So the EB-5 investment program has been extended and is available. The amount of the minimum investment has been raised since previous generations, but the rules also allow you to enter after your initial application is approved. So the rules have been somewhat favorably adjusted, and it is still available.
That's good.
That means that we still have to waiting for the 2-year condition green card. You cannot come in right away after you put investment. Is that correct?
So you need to make an investment. You need to file an I-526. You need to wait at least 24 months until the 526 is approved and you get your temporary green card. So the answer to that is yes, and I think 24 months is pretty optimistic, frankly.
Right. So you guys hear already that you cannot come to the state right away after you put the investment. You still have to wait for 2-year condition to come to the United States and waiting for the permanent green card.
Wow. In the past, does that mean it's faster, shorter lead time in the past for EB-5 program? Gabriel?
Yes.
Yeah, so the EB-5 program used to be much more effective than it is today. And it also used to be a lot cheaper.
How much?
So yes, the previous versions of the program we required a minimum investment of $500,000 as opposed to now it's $800,000. And also they had much faster processing times.
Yeah, so right now, even though you investing $800,000 US, you still have to wait 2 years right now, as of the status. It could be
just
changed,
to get
right?
the temporary, to get the temporary green card, which is not a green card, not a real one.
So when do they have a green card?
So then you have to come in. You got to wait another 2 years to prove that you have employed 10 people, and then after you do that, after you prove that you're still employing 10 people, then you can get a permanent green card.
So it take about 4 years then, based on current lead time.
Minimum.
Wow. Chị Kathy and Gabriel, you have anything else to say before? Và mong rằng cái talk show ngày hôm nay đem đến cho quý vị những thông tin hữu ích về chương trình di trú lao động thẻ xanh, diện investment, tức là đầu tư vào Hoa Kỳ. Mong rằng buổi talk show ngày hôm nay mang đến cho quý vị những thông tin hữu ích. Và nếu quý vị có những thắc mắc thì xin hãy gọi cái số điện thoại của công ty Julie Wonder. Và cảm ơn sự theo dõi của tất cả quý vị.